is this colored by, affected by, influenced by an Islamic perspective on the world, that there's a religious element here, even if it's not very necessarily directive or powerful, it nonetheless has an influence. And in particular, I'm interested in the emphasis on family and the role of women in the family as anchors and vital, obviously. And that's not something I think that would necessarily bubble up immediately from a more secular Western perspective on feminism. So that's where the Islamic context and the Arab context in the Gulf really begins to make a difference. It's this emphasis on societal, collective well-being that is channeled through the participation and the agency of women, but it's channeled for a wider purpose, not just as the ending or the end stop or the end point is just equality, pure and simple.
Mhm. Exactly. So this is the individualist perspective versus the more collective, the more, as I mentioned, the collective well-being, the
Yeah.
versus the subjective,
Mm-hmm.
exclusive
Mm-hmm.
well-being.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so for this paradox, or if how we need to understand the context is the key, and here in this case is the Islamic worldview, as I mentioned, because of the where, because of the context specifically. For example, an example of the related to the metrics. There is the World Bank Women Business and Law Index. Now, Qatar scores 29.4 out of 100. If we see this, what does it mean?
Yeah.
That reflects an image of restriction on women and lack of progression,
Mm-hmm.
right? And for someone who's living in Qatar and who knows exactly these role models, and this doesn't reflect the reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that raises some question about global indicators, as they seem to be biased and influenced by these neoliberal values and
Mm-hmm.
conflicts in ideologies. So, judging from an outside point of view, ignoring local knowledge and local priorities might lead to such biases or to lead to biased assessments. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, one of why Qatar scored that low in two there were like questions, in related, for example, to women working in hazardous jobs, in dangerous jobs. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
or women working night shifts, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so this, they got 0 out of
Okay. Okay.
30 or out of 20.
Uh-huh.
They were 4 blocks or 5 blocks, and they were like
Right.
points for each.
Right.
So here, if we link it with the outcome, with the why of empowerment, which is the well-being, both individually
Mm-hmm.
and collectively, we can understand why women prefer, or in the society, working night shift or working in dangerous places. It's not
Mm-hmm.
fit in this
Mm-hmm.
context. So it's not,
Mm-hmm.
it's depriving women from their rights, or so it's part explained by this search for or emphasis on the well-being, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
rather than allowing women to be exploited, because that opened the door to other things, for women to be exploited, which is against, again, the whole idea of empowering women,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Another example where the metrics and the statistics might be misleading, there is the ILO data that shows a low female labor participation as a percentage of the total labor force in the GCC, and notably in Qatar. I think that's chapter 4 and chapter 7 with Melissa Langworthy.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows that if we take the data as such, it shows that there is like we call the paradox, the development
Mm-hmm.
paradox. Women are highly educated, but it's not represented in the workforce. However, when we filter for citizen women, the participation rates are high, because,
Mm-hmm.
as you know, and here we come back to the specificity of the context and the GCC, which is we mentioned the demographic imbalances, right? So we have a huge percentage of men,
Mm-hmm.
especially a migrant
Migrant
and
workers, yeah.
expats,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so when it's taken a total, of course, the percentage of women is very low.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
when we compare the citizen, the local Qatari to Qatari women to Qatari male, the percentage, and same thing has been done for Kuwait and for Oman, for the GCC countries, then the picture is different,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So that's why it's very important to pay attention first to the specificities, to understand this, and also that data can be misleading, and
Hmm.
that we can have like skewed reporting of statistics.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm
Hmm.
telling my students, don't take numbers for granted. No, it's
Right,
not that
right.
that
Well, you're right. I mean,
sacred.
it's important to get a handle on these empirical differences, and they're extraordinarily important. Particularly in countries like Qatar, as you know, 85% of the population is expat. I mean, that's a shock to most people if they don't know or understand that.